Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is June the 24th, and I have not forgotten any of the past. I've not forgotten the things that I've done, things that other people have done, and most of all, I've not forgotten the people who have passed on. Whether it be from the very beginnings, when we were losing our elderly, or all the way into my current time of life, which is both the best time of my life and also the absolute worst time of my life. It's a duality that exists within us as far as which one we can recognize. And so the daily accomplishment of running every day, or at least every recommended day when I am capable of doing so, probably shows on your side of the screen, on your side of the visual aspect of what you're perceiving, probably shows a reversal of age. And again, as some of us talk about these things and some of us commit to believing among one another, hey, these things are possible, because I saw this cat down the road do exactly what they said they were going to set out to do. I just watched someone run a red light. I'm basically pulling up to the red light right now. The light's been red ever since we left this area. I'm stopping at the red light. Anyway, during this, it just turned green. During this wealth building experience, there are so many potential distractions to the pitfalls that we are faced with on a regular basis, that have caused it so that some of the people, including some younger than myself, are simply no longer here. And it's not because of strife. It's not because of the war-torn areas. It's not because of the crimes that are being committed. It's because of self-inflicted obstacles. If I can go into a place with everything I need, not even carrying this technology sometimes, if I can go into an area with everything I need, and I don't have to think to prepare for it, I just know it's already going to be the way it should be, that is a profound life. If I had to be somewhere for an appointment, if I had to fill a prescription, if I had to feel ill for any longer than I had to, that would be a disappointment. That would be a letdown. That'd be a tremendous letdown in the eyes of my family. And for this reason, I feel as if I'm honoring my parents, and I feel disavowed by my parents. As I've stated in the past, most can only recognize well-being and offerings of good tiding in the form of monetary displays. It's when we pray with one another, and that doesn't mean to predate on one another. When we pray, this is one of those dual word, let's call it when we meditate with one another. And most people medicate with one another. Medicate in the form of television shows, people you don't even know. Sure wish them a lot of different feelings, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. The fact is that when people collectively wish something upon someone else, or revere someone, that energy has nothing to do but be transmuted into whatever it's transmuted into. So here on this medium, where I'm casting out the demons, it's true. You know it as much as I do, that health is wealth, and creeping death, that's the way it gets stolen from us. It just creeps. And with some people, you can see that we're hardwired to self-destruct. That doesn't mean that we have to trigger the destruction. You know? We all understand that time is finite. And so we act as if we want to do the very first thing we want to do. We don't necessarily want to go for a run. That takes a lot of effort. Not when we have the power of meditation. That time allows me to focus so much that you can achieve in less than 7 minutes what in some cases might take hours, years, or even a lifetime to resolve. You can make a choice. And at that very moment, when you make that choice, you'll no longer recognize monetary forms of energy. Sure, it's energy. It sure helps to have money to make the world go round. But that's not the objective. When you start to recognize true health, true wealth, then you start to recognize, I'm on this cat's side. And it's when you start to unite and recognize, I'm talking from my own perspective about my gains and losses that I feel, how great I feel, and how absolutely dismal this time is. Look at the war-torn condition. Look at the environment. Look at all of our families and how they've been traumatized. And all you have to do is just also look around and see the plastic bags hanging, all of the rubbish. But it's all energy. And we can either transmute, transform that energy. Health is wealth, baby. The celebrities who have all that energy and all that thought focused on them, they know how to deal with it. I know how to deal with it too. And I also recognize it's going to take a little bit of help to clean up some of these acts. If you want to have a clean act passed, guess what? You should be watching something like this, making sure it goes viral, sharing it with someone else so that we can raise the income to start to fund these new ways, and stop bowing down to mother and father as if it's because of the wealth that's going to be passed on. As I've told you, my duality is that I've got both examples in my lineage. I've got one form ready to tear down, burn down everything. And then I've got another side that's very protective of the life that not only they've been given, but that they have given. So, imagine being in such a duality of a household that you're nurtured by one and torn down by the other. And then imagine that in my example, I found that across the board, on the gender spectrum, that that's how things would go. Be built up. Almost as if by an illusion. Built up by our fathers. But in reality, we're also being torn apart by our fathers. Because our fathers don't recognize that it's not in a retired state that we regain any of those long-term investments. And so if we stop believing in that paper side, the people who can't commit to thinking beyond paper might have already started to lose hope. That might even include you. It certainly included me. So like I say, in less than 6 minutes, less than 7 minutes here, in less than 11 minutes, you've understood that this is a fraction of the time that I'm going to be running and in my own head thinking about all of the ways to move these things forward. And in many regards, the missing people who are younger than me, who are around my age, and who are missing because of the choices that we're making every day collectively, I can't help celebrate it. I don't want to. It's not a celebration. This is the worst time of my life. To have my family just falling apart. And anyway, were they ever my family? I'm sure that's the question a lot of you ask. And of course, people will shake their head incredulously. Well, of course, whether it's by blood or by law. And usually the people who say, well, of course, by law, because it's by law, they say it even more fervently, more feverishly, because by law, I'm entitled. What about by choice? What are we doing by choice? What's in your hand right now? Is it the remote? Is it the keyboard? Is it the mobile device that you're about to swipe some other direction on so you can go see something else more entertaining? Or are you going to get out and do something yourself? I don't know. I know who I run into in these places where people are celebrating life. And I know what I run into where people are just looking to grab hold of any semblance of life. And I also know that it's a hell of a time to be celebrating and mourning. So, good morning to all of us, right? Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.